Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For those tuning in on the simulcast on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on X, we're glad you all can be with us. Going to bring in our friends over on IG. So they can be a part of our conversation. And last but certainly not least, going to connect with our friends over on Amazon Live. Excited about this next guest. I always am because we always have something new to be able to talk about. So I know today won't be any different. We're now live on the Amazon Live platform with Cyrus Webb Presents. If you guys are new to us on Amazon, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button. You'll see it here in this corner or down below. You also see the books by our next guest. Excited to welcome back Dr. Velma Bagby to our broadcast today. You guys know her as the best-selling author of the Catch series. I happen to have mine over here on the side, but we're not going to be talking about those today. We're going to be talking about what she's been up to this year, which goes beyond the Catch series, and that is the two books you guys can see here. Finding Your Voice, you can see on this side, and also Hold Your Head Up Princess as well. She also has her brand new book for you guys joining us on the Amazon side, Following Esther's Process. We're going to talk to her about that and the upcoming show around it too. Dr. Velma, welcome back to the broadcast.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you today, Cyrus.
Oh, it's always nice to talk to you too,
Always.
Dr. Velma. So, Dr. Velma, you're finishing up the year with a lot of things that you've been up to.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about, for one, what it's been like for you to talk to different audiences this year, because we spent really most of 2024, quite honestly, talking about the Catch series and things around the Catch series. What has it been like for you this year to be able to expand that audience and to have something outside of just talking about that series?
It's been wonderful because I didn't uh, start this journey thinking about these other areas, but to be able to move into new topics that I can talk about has been
Mhm.
exciting for me.
Yeah. And I think too, what's been great for me, Dr. Velma, as someone who works with you, but also as someone who's read your books, to show people your range. I think a lot of times, as we know, can happen with people. It's like we
Hmm.
see it. I see it in the entertainment industry all the time.
Hmm.
That you see an actor in a certain role, and you get used to them kind of being in that role, right?
Get pigeonholed. Hmm.
Yeah, and then when they do something different, it's like, wait a minute, what's this? And it may actually be something good, but it takes us by surprise. Did you experience that when you were, introducing books like this one, Finding Your Voice as a Corporate Laryngitis, and even Hold Your Head Up, Princess?
What has happened to so many other people way before us, Cyrus,
Mhm.
even biblically, people started out thinking that they were going in one direction and God steered them in a new direction. Some of that journey was about preparation. I had to get out there. It was about me discovering how to write based on what I knew I had to say
Mm.
versus coming from the corporate, like you see in the book, coming from corporate and representing their brand. I had to practice that and get out there, get my feet wet. And I
Mhm.
believe those things had to happen first before these other opportunities could be realized because I didn't know they were there. And
Yeah.
so I'm excited about it, and so many other things that are on my heart right now to move forward in. Hopefully, God says the same in 2026.
Exactly, for sure. The Real Lady Extreme, thank you for hanging out with us again. The Real Lady Extreme, she was with us on our last hour when we were
Oh,
on. I appreciate you being with us over there on IG. Prairie Dodgers, Cindy, hello to you over there on IG. Glad you could join us as well. And that brings us up another great point, Dr. Valma, because not
mhm.
only have you widened out in your writing, you widened out in the audience that you're able to reach and to talk to. Talk to us about that experience of letting us into how you became who is Dr. Velma and what that's been like for you to share in these books.
Yeah, it's been really exciting because every part of my writing has a piece of me. I'm telling my truth. I'm sharing my experience with the hope that somebody else could resonate with what I have to say and could benefit from it.
Mhm.
The finding hold your head up princess to finding your voice after corporate laryngitis. Those were both about my own personal experiences. I didn't think I was going to be writing about, but here it is, and I'm excited that I have, and those that have gotten copies and read the books are excited about it as well. And
Yeah.
then you and I had a conversation with all that's happening. I've had several conversations this week with people who are looking for work and how challenging
Mhm.
it is. I met a person who's trying to Uber just to make ends meet until they find that next job. So finding your voice after corporate laryngitis is a perfect time
Yeah.
to release that exclusive edition. So I'm just grateful that there's more to me to
Hmm.
than just as a dating relationship coach and writing books about, dating, relationships, and marriage, and then to be able to branch out in these because these are stories that I experienced myself that could resonate with people even today.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad that you decided to do that, Dr. Rama. Such a
Yes, I did. Oh, there's one point I should share with the audience.
Oh, you
Since
don't have to. It's
you're
okay.
talking about audience, it's important that I share my truth.
Okay.
I have a publicist who had
Uh-oh.
his finger in my let me do my finger this way, in my back,
Wait a
and was
minute.
encouraging me. You really need to say more about this because finding your voice after corporate laryngitis, that
Uh,
was birthed out of my participating in an
an
anthology.
anthology.
And
Hmm.
I remember my publicist was saying, you really need to release this. So that's why it's called the exclusive edition, because I added more and I wanted to talk about what I had to say early on to
Hmm.
ensure that those who read it could really benefit from it. So that's why
Yeah.
I decided to release the exclusive edition based on my publicist. His name is Cyrus Webb, just in case you're looking for someone.
Well,
He
well,
encouraged me to release this book, and I'm so glad I did because it's right on time right now.
I appreciate that, Dr. Velma. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. but
It
but
very
no,
much so.
in all seriousness, though, on my end, the reason why I remember the conversation we had about this book, I'm going to highlight it for our audience on the Amazon side,
Hmm.
because again, like we talked about, the world, the way the world is right
Yep.
now. And oh, Cindy says, I love to hear Cyrus laugh. It's magic. Thank you so much for that, Cindy. I appreciate that.
Okay,
But you,
Cindy.
but what you write about in this book is important for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
Because one, yes, you're talking about finding your voice when it comes to writing, but you also, and this is what I picked up on as a reader, Dr. Bama,
Yeah.
there's a connection to hold your head up, princess,
Yes, it is.
and that it really is about knowing who you were meant to be, created to be, and using those gifts. And one example of that, that to
Hmm.
me is a great connection to hold your head up, princess, is what you write about in chapter 3. You
Hmm.
said this: while working in the state government, they trained staff to use an official business template for written communications, a one size fits all method of writing, which
Yep.
is also prevalent in other work environments I mentioned. This approach is implemented with the assumption that using a single style for everyone will
Hmm.
result in uniform communications and will prevent inefficiencies or failures. However, having worked in this kind of environment, this method of control has the opposite effect. And I thought that is such an
Yeah.
interesting connection to hold your head up, princess, because the world will try to make us fit into this box or this template
Right.
that makes us think that everyone, is going to be able to relate to this. What has that been like for you, both personally and professionally, Dr. Valma? Because that's kind of what you have here, the bookends, the
Yes.
personal bookend and the professional bookend. What
Yeah.
has it been like for you to be able to embrace that individual quality that you have?
I think that the wisdom that I gained from the experience I had in middle school, high school, my
Mhm,
very first job working at 18, all of those experiences prepped me and prepared me for later on. So
mhm,
you're absolutely right. What occurred in Hold Your Head Up Princess were all part of the process of preparing me for where I am today.
mhm,
It helped me to prepare for finding your voice because that job that I got, I was on that job when I talked about finding your voice in corporate laryngitis. I was
mhm,
on that job. And so it's important. I didn't realize it until after began writing this story and Hold Your Head Up Princess that I began to apply some principles in my life very early on in my life. And
wow.
those are the same principles that carried me throughout adulthood and has brought me to where I am today. When I
Mm,
talk about um, facing negativity in middle school, who does that? Who wants to face that? You're just a kid. Who
yeah.
wants to look at those things? And why would adults want you to focus on some of the negativities that, well, their negative opinion of you?
Hmm.
All of that happened to me at a very early stage. But rather than that create bitterness in me or anger, or frustration, I learned at that young age how to transform what I felt, how to transform your thinking, really. If you thought something negatively about me, then I was just going to set out to prove you wrong. I
Mm,
didn't argue with you. I wasn't going to dispute. I was just going to demonstrate. Well, just hold on a minute. You'll see a different person in a minute. That's kind of what I was saying in my mind. And
yeah.
throughout my experiences that I talk about, that was my approach. And I'm like that today.
Mm. And there's so much Dr. Velma doesn't know, but I have very big plans for her in the first quarter of 2026 around Hold Your Head Up, Princess. Don't tell her. Um, don't say anything to her about it. But it goes to the point you're just making, Dr. Velma, because again, these are things that men and women
Yeah.
need to be told early. Because again, we
Yeah.
live in a world that will try to mold us and make
Yeah.
us conform, and that's really the tie-in again, as I felt with these two particular books,
Yes.
which is why I really believe them being standalones were so important because I think people will be able to either those young or those not young will be able to look at that and say, wow, this explains why I don't feel like I'm supposed to be here or that I have more to offer than what people may say of me. Uh, Thank you so much for that, Real Lady Extreme. I think you're a gift as well. Appreciate that. And she says Dr. Bagby is a gifted writer. She definitely is
Oh,
that
thank
for
you.
sure. I want to reset real quick and say for those who are just tuning in, welcome. You all are watching Cyrus Represents. I don't know how the time passes so fast. Dr. Velma. Dr. Velma Bagby is back with us today. We're talking with her about a busy 2025 that includes the release of the books you guys can see here, Finding Your Voice After Corporate Laryngitis, and also Hold Your Head Up, Princess. But Dr. Velma, you've been doing more as well. You released another book as you are wrapping up this year, Following Esther's Process. Now, I have the Kindle edition, but I'm going to highlight it for you guys joining us on Amazon, the print and the Kindle edition. Dr. Velma has her print edition there. Talk to us about what led you to writing this book about Esther.
Well, I stepped back into my writing about dating and relationships and marriage moment with this. And it happened all of a sudden, kind of like that finger I get, like the what you just talked about, the plan you have for me in 2026. There's that
Mhm.
finger that pushes my back saying, this is what we're going to do, Dr. Velma. God does it sometimes, but his finger is not as tough as yours, Cyrus. It's kind of a gentle nudge. So maybe there's a skill set you need to gain right there.
It could be. It
I
could be.
was reading the story, and it dawned on me. Everybody focused on Esther. Most of my adult life, whenever we talked about her, people would
Mhm,
brag about she did this. She spent 12 months to prepare for marriage, and began to look at it closer because
mhm,
the Bible is full of types and shadows, symbolism. And I looked at the symbolism of what she did. It had nothing to do with marrying a king. Of course, God had an assignment for her to save his people. But when you look at what she did, the symbolism of what she did was
mhm,
really more of gravitating and growing closer to God, not to get a man. It
mhm,
really wasn't. And I think if we focus on that a little bit more, we'll do a better job at finding the one that God has for you.
mhm,
Because what she did was what I took and created this book. The 30 days is 15 days dealing with the symbolism that she used the first 6 months of her year, and that was purification, getting rid of the junk, getting rid of the past, getting rid of the things you're carrying around, unloading all that you need to get rid of. And then the second half was her restoration, where she just kind of bathed in certain fragrances that represents restoration and restoring. So symbolism there is then now let's connect ourselves closer to God. And so it wasn't even about a marriage. It really
mhm,
wasn't. They called it that, preparation for marriage, but the symbolism of it was us preparing ourselves to be better at our relationship with God. And if you're better with Him, then of course that makes you very valuable to a person who may be interested in you. And I think that's what I loved about it. So I'm
mhm,
glad I was able to put this together. And it was very quickly. This was not a long process. I saw it, saw the importance of it, and so, oh, let me get this um, 30-day devotional out so that people can utilize it and understand. It wasn't, no man cares if if you're going to unload your past, and no woman either.
mhm.
So, we can call it Esther, or we can call it Evan.
Yeah,
It
right.
really is the same process for everybody.
I love
You
that.
do it because God is going to be pleased. God cares if you get rid of the junk.
Hmm.
A man won't.
Yeah,
But you become more, or a woman, you become more valuable if you do. And so
that's
it
right.
really is about our relationship with God. And that's where we should all start.
Yeah, and that goes to what you're doing outside of books, Dr. Ram. Again, expanding on your media brand as well when it comes
Yeah.
to your podcast and shows. So you have two shows. You have Dr. Velma Talks, and then you
Hmm.
also have Finding Your Voice as well.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. What it's been like for you to here in 2025 be the president of your own media company.
Is that what I am? President and CEO, Cyrus?
Yes.
What? I need to put my I need to get that framed and put it behind me on my shelf. It's been exciting. It really has been. I'm just joking with you, Cyrus.
Yeah.
Uh, a lot of this journey is because of the people God has blessed me to be surrounded by. And so
Mm,
I joke about your finger and everything, but you have been such a valuable asset to this journey. And so
mm,
I'm excited. I really am. Like I
mm.
said, I started out thinking I had this one assignment
Mhm.
just to write about dating, and that's the 5 book series. And I do want to write a 6th book for that series, and that's going to be the success stories. And I've
Mm,
already begun spoken to some of real success stories so that I can mimic their stories in the fictional characters. But it's been really exciting. I had no idea that when I started, this is what I would be doing now. And who knew that I would have a podcast? The Dr.
mm,
Velma Talks,
mhm.
dating, relationships, and marriage, and then finding your voice based on the story of that book. I felt that it would be beneficial for others who might find themselves in a place that I found myself in. Why
Yeah,
not hear from other people who had
right,
similar journeys, who are doing the similar work that you're doing, who have the same assignment you have, not necessarily what I'm doing, but something totally different. And so
mhm,
it's been such a wonderful thing to have a variety of people on that show that can share with others what they've done, how they've accomplished it, and even some of the hiccups that may have happened along the way so you can learn
mm.
from their expertise.
I love that. And
Mhm.
to tie in with that, with the Dr. Valma Talks, you actually are bringing your 2 mediums together, Dr. Valma, in 2026, where you have your podcast actually becoming a platform for the book. Talk to us about that and what it's gonna be like for you to be able to take us weekly into your new book about Esther.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going through the book now myself because I
Mhm.
believe in, we're never at a perfect place in our walk
Right.
with
Agreed.
God. So
Yeah.
I call it a reset. I usually reset toward the end of the year in preparation for the new year. I don't wait for the new year to come, kind of
Right.
like what you do with business forecasting and planning. It's the
Mhm.
same with your walk. I'm
Yeah.
not waiting for 2026 to celebrate 2026. I
Yeah.
begin now asking God to cover what needs to be covered, give me insight on what I need to do in 2026 and show me how. So I have a list, Cyrus has a list, God has a list. So I try to merge the list
Mm.
so that I know exactly what I'm doing. And so I'm excited that with the 30-day journal concerning Esther, I will be presenting each day live every Saturday, talking about what that does, what it means, because I'm going through the journal now,
Yeah.
so that I can take talk to you personally about what I did, what happened to me, what came to my mind, and so it's going to be important that I share that with everyone. So every Saturday, starting in January, first Saturday in January, we'll be walking through the 30-day um, devotional in Esther.
Love that. So a great way to bring back Dr. Bama Talks. Chris, hello to you. Chris Irvin's joining us over on Facebook. Chris says, build muscle, unloading the weight of your past so that you can carve out a better future. So true. And I think
Absolutely.
that's the thing. And it's such an important thing, Dr. Bama, that you're doing. And it's great. I'm so glad as someone who works with you to see you
Hmm.
being able to use your platform to speak to different audiences, to
Yeah.
let them see, because there's a whole slice of the world that needs just this particular book, or a whole slice that needs this particular book. The fact that they can get that from you,
Yeah.
and those who, may be looking for something when it comes to, dating, relationships, marriage, can still be able to come to you. I think it's great to have that under your umbrella with what you're building for sure. Again, everyone, Dr. Velma Bagby has been our guest. All of her books are available here on Amazon, so you can be able to get them. Also, of course, her podcast as well. So, Dr. Velma, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you?
Well, I'm going to be moving my podcast to YouTube only. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and set it so that it will remind you when those episodes appear or air.
Mhm.
And then you can register on my website if you choose to do that to follow me, drvelmabagby.com. And I'm on all the social media platforms if you want to follow me on any of those as well.
Well, Dr. Bama, I'm excited about all the great things to come, excited about the way you're finishing up 2025 and getting ready for 2026, and looking forward to our next chat together.
Thank you. Same here, Cyrus,
Mm,
always.
I appreciate that. And we thank you all for watching another great episode of Cyrus Webb Presents. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.